What a car. ISF is a departure from everything that I've ever seen for Lexus, but what a performing vehicle. Several years ago, when we had some enthusiasts really want to get a performance vehicle when the IS first came out, and from that has trickled down to this, that just enthusiasts have asked for it, and finally gave the chief engineer an idea of, well, why don't you try to play with this? See if you can come up with something that will give us a performance edge. I think once that started and started building into something they could use, I think it was just something that ISF just had to happen.
So what we were looking to do when we designed this vehicle was a car that is the traditional Lexus luxury that you get, the Mark Levinson sound system and all the great features you get with the Lexus, but it's also just pure driving pleasure on the track.
The F. If you look at the curves on the F, each curve on the F will represent a turn on Fuji Speedway. The ISF is the same car virtually as the IS250, IS350. A lot of suspension changes though, so we could get this lower set on the track, we could get the performance aspect of it, we get the curves, we get the turns, we get the set flat on the curves. All that had to take a lot of suspension changes, but other than that, we added the front nose on it for almost 3 inches longer to get a little bit more air moving through the vehicle. So I got brake cooling, got engine cooling. So several changes in that respect, but most of the body's same. The interior is black or black with white leather on top of it. Stitching is all blue, as well as the underside of the black leather is dyed blue. So when a needle goes through and pulls the thread back through, it pulls a little bit of kind of like a fuzz back with it. So it gives a distinction of a class of its own. And it also has the F logo on the steering wheel, on the seat sides, the center console, the rear console cover as well. So you have the F logo everywhere on the interior. We have a composite-like center console, performance brake pedals and accelerator pedals. Other than that, the interior is almost the same as the IS250, IS350, except for the seats themselves are bolstered up and stiffened up. So if I'm doing it in a performance drive, it's going to hold me in the seat. On the exterior of this car, you have a front air dam. If you look real close at it, you have a lot of air coming into both sides of the front bumper or lower area, just to cool the front brakes. And right behind the tires, you notice the fenders are kind of 1.5 inches spread out over an IS250 or 350, but there's a vent right behind the tire, and that's to actually allow that heat to get out of the inside of the tire well. Most everything is standard on this ISF. A couple of upgrades are navigation system, you get Mark Levinson system. You can also, as an upgrade, remove the sunroof of all things, but that is an upgrade. And then you can add a ceramic brake package.
You know, we think there's 3 primary segments for this car. We've got IS customers, IS250, IS350s, and even the older IS customers who want to step up into something that's really powerful and they can be driving on a track or just fun on the road too. We also think there's a generation of WRX and Evo customers who want to step up into another vehicle. They've been driving those vehicles, they want something more luxurious and something that's fantastic on the track, very powerful vehicle. We also think with BMW, M3, AMG, new vehicle coming out, the CTSV, we think that we're going to be very competitive against those. We think we match up with them on the track, and we match up with them on the road. We think it's going to be a pretty good battle coming up over the next few years. We've taken a little different approach with this vehicle than a traditional Lexus launch. We've started by reaching out to our enthusiast clubs with clublexus.com and is.com. Really kind of grassroots, getting people enthused about the car before it comes out and then sitting in it and experiencing it. And we're not going to do traditional TV for this, a lot of internet. Lexus.com/ISF, you can see the specs, see some of the video of the car. And then also, we're doing primarily cinema when we launch it. We're not doing it on TV, we're going to be in movie theaters. You know, for me, what I love about getting in this car, and you get into it, and I love the Levinson sound system, so I just love the sound and I love the feel of getting in a Lexus. But then when you put this car in manual and you start playing with those paddle shifters and just the raw power and the cornering and how it hugs the corners. I did have the opportunity to drive it on the track at Laguna Seca a couple times, and it is unbelievable going through the corners. It's a fun car to be in and it's a fun car to drive.
This car is super. This car stirs my adrenaline like there hadn't been a stock production car do that in a long time. I mean, I was back with the muscle cars back in the 60s and 70s. This car just stirs all that up again.